Welcome to Of Course She Did, a podcast about knitting and measuring and friendship. Jody's measuring stuff, if you heard that. Join our knit club for a good old-fashioned stitch and bitch, and we'll talk about all things knitting as well as the insanity that occupies the other 10% of our brains. Our knit club consists of hormonal women of a certain age, and you are hereby warned of foul language and spicy topics.
I'm Ingrid, and I have a cursed 30-year-old sweater.
Of course she does.
Well, it took me 30 years to make. It's not. So the yarn is over 30 years old.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And I'm pretty sure we've talked about your 30-year-old sweater, your 1980s sweater a couple of times, but it was cursed. Did we, maybe can you tell the story about why you think it's cursed?
Maybe because it took me 30 years. Is that like a...
Yeah.
Okay, so I wore it to the rink, and it was bad energy at the rink. From the moment I stepped in that door, I could feel bad energy. Oh. Just even with people I was sitting beside, kind of talking to or not talking to, and it was really awkward. And I was calling Erin, and she's like, pretend you're looking for me and walk away. Then my child was, no, and then I ran into some people I knew, and they were acting weird, and then my kid was injured, and I'd take him to the hospital, so.
And did they win the game? I think they lost the game.
No.
No?
They probably won that game. It was a very rough team.
That doesn't sound like our kids' team then.
No, last year, it was against that particular team. Yes, they beat them all the time, and that was why they were so rough.
So one of our favorite memes is a meme of a little old lady sitting and knitting, and the text says, "I'm convinced knitting is magic. Just sitting there with two magic wands performing complex movements while chanting, cursing, and looking at a spell book. And suddenly, a blanket." So
it's 100% what we do.
Happy Halloween. This is our first Halloween episode. And for me, I'm not really into Halloween, and I do prefer kind of a more traditional and Celtic year. So a Samhain is what it is called, not just by witchy people, but by.
Are you witchy?
No, I don't think so. But I do love the idea of the spiritual and magic being in all things, plants and rocks. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm an animist, but
what's an animist?
Believing that there is a spirit in everything, but I think if God created everything, and then it might have a spirit in it. Who knows? But I just love the usefulness of all things. So we...
also, it should be said she's wearing all black, so I don't know.
Oh, I do happen to be wearing all black today. We hopefully you got to check it out on Instagram or YouTube. We did a little ritual to cleanse
a cursed sweater.
Yes. And so I have quite a collection of rocks and crystals, and so I put out some black tourmaline, which is considered a must-have for protection and can dispel negative energy. And I put out obsidian, which can cleanse auras of negative energy and kind of psychic smog. I put out some selenite, which is a cleansing crystal, and it can also kind of recharge other crystals in the environment and can raise vibrations. And I put out some smoky quartz, which is often used in rituals for cleansing, breaking hexes, and banishing negative energy. So
the sweater definitely needed that.
Yes. So I put out those. We had some fire going. I had a little offering of Halloween candy.
And some gifts of lavender and rosemary from my garden.
Very protective, especially for knit goods and all natural fibers.
Ah, see? And it keeps those dastardly moths away.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a natural fiber sweater. It's probably all acrylic.
It is from the 80s after all.
Extremely flammable. Did we blow that candle out?
No, we did not.
Okay. Somebody's gonna have to jump up and get that one. So what else do we have? Oh, and we use
the ultimate test. If we broke the curse, will it light on fire?
Hold it over the flame. Let's see.
Oh, it's just, do we all go up in
Maybe it'll just
flames?
melt away.
A little puddle. Oh dear.
So also what we used was some herbal spray. When I was in, oh, somebody else do the
Nanaimo?
talking. Well, I was
Qualica?
in Nanaimo.
And seeing a twisted sheep. No, what's that? That's
Oh,
not right.
didn't you go to like yarn store next door? You
Mad About
Mad
You.
About You.
Mad about you.
And
There
right
it
beside
is.
Mad About You is Lobelia's Lair.
That's an awesome name.
Is that, am I saying that right? Yes, I am. Lobelia's Lair. And so I went in because I had just bought yarn and I felt a little guilty. And I still had some time to waste. So I went in and I said, I have a cursed sweater. Do you think that this will work? And the lovely owner, and I apologize now, I can't remember her name. She said, oh yeah, that'll work. This one will work better. And so she handed me the spruce. And when I told her
Perfect.
what we were doing,
Yeah.
she donated
That was nice
the
of
spruce
her.
one
It's
to
amazing.
help break your curse. And so next time we're at Mad About You, we'll pop in there and say thanks and make sure she knows what episode that that her store is in, and
Nice.
we'll let her know if the cleansing spray worked.
We should just spray a little spruce on all of us.
Oh, we
it did smell good.
It does smell good.
I
Yeah.
could use a little of that.
Yeah. So I really like the idea like of natural elements having let's say other uses, and so there are quite medicinal uses for the sage and the
Mm-hmm.
rosemary and the lavender, and saging is a
Bacterial. Lavender is very antibacterial.
yeah, and like First Nations, Indigenous people use saging as a way of cleansing spiritually. None of us are First Nations, but my ancestry is in the Celtic persuasion, and so we call it seining.
Seining, which is
Yeah.
the same as
Same as smudging.
smudging. Yeah.
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 Same
My
act,
boys-
same
You
everything.
jump, yeah. You light a fire. You jump through the fire. You can,
Neat.
pass the fire around you. So, I listened to a podcast called Knit a Spell, and it's a knit designer and a maker of magic, and they have a little podcast that talks about the crossover between magic and knitting, and it's really quite entertaining.
Well, it is magic.
Mm-hmm. And so to begin, any kind of knit good you cast on, and you cast
Right
a
from
spell.
the beginning. You're
Exactly. So it's kind of it's a magical start. So we kind of casted a little circle and had a candle going. And we kind of prepared the space for some magical work. You can create a protective boundary, which is closed, as in a cast off. So your magical circle, if you're knitting in the round, there are lots of ways that it's kind of connected.
yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Waving sticks around and cursing
Lots
or
of cursing.
chanting. Knit
Right,
one,
yeah.
pearl two.
So, cleansing knit goods, we used some spray to kind of cleanse it metaphorically. But how do you cleanse your knit goods to begin with?
Other than blocking.
Honestly,
all
not
I
very
know.
often because they don't need it very often. But mostly, I just wash them with eucalyptus, which is a wool wash, and smells a lot like your
Mm-hmm.
80s sweater now.
Or just airing something out. Like I like hanging things outside to air out. That's always nice.
I had to jump up because I was starting to panic about the candle.
About that
Mythical burnout.
highly flammable 80s sweater near the. Oh, that's funny. The airing out, I suppose that's also very ritualistic because I love to throw my bedding outside and let the fresh air do its job. And I think cleaning knitwear is the same way. You want to air it out and.
Well, and using the element, the element of air, the same way that we use the element of fire
Right.
and earth in our and candy in our ritual.
Candy.
We
Well, and earth, there was a stone there, which it's my rubbing stone for anxiety, to be honest.
What's your worry stone?
It's my worry stone. Yeah. And I had one. The funny thing is, Erin, you'll not know this, but I had one and I lost it at Knit City. I put it down on the bedside table and I thought, right, once you get dressed, put that back in your pocket, and I forgot to. And I was really sad. Like, that was 6 weeks ago we went to that, and it took me that long to feel ready to get another stone. So, but yeah,
It's now moved on to somebody else who needed it.
well, that's what I kept telling myself. Except I can just picture the cleaning lady hucking in the garbage, but whatever.
But if it has that like smooth texture, you never know. Like people,
Yeah,
Or it came to you for a time and
Yeah.
you needed something different.
and it's been passed on. Exactly.
I'm a believer. Like if you left it behind, even accidentally, it was meant.
It was meant to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, in thinking of kind of how things are meant to be, knitting in let's say witchcraft, since we're talking about Halloween and spooky things, knitting and witchcraft intersect in ways that they both incorporate like a meaning for things or intention. You know, when you start knitting something, or if you were of the witchy persuasion and wanted to do some spell work, your intention is everything, and the planning that goes around it, the energy you put into it, even the symbolic elements.
There must be some knitting patterns that have some witchcraft symbology. Have you looked on Ravelry in that regard, or
absolutely.
have you considered dyeing?
Trying
Designing is what I meant. Sorry, folks.
Different elements can be used to kind of put any kind of witchy elements in. So you can start with the color and even the kind of fabric, whether it's heavier or
Right.
a lighter gauge, the kind of item that you're making. You know, is it going to keep you warm? Is it going to be protective?
Which really, that when we're knitting everything we knit, there's, for me anyways, there's love and power of love in every stitch that is meant to protect the person wearing it.
And I mean, you can knit symbolic elements into an item. Actually, Light for Lintum has a protection sigil hat that incorporates a more
neat.
kind of Icelandic, that protective symbol that we saw at the Museum of Witchcraft and
That would be
Sorcery
neat.
and Witchcraft. So,
would be neat.
it's one that I think, you could put that symbol into anything, right?
Also, weaving hair apparently into your items, and I can tell you
Dog
in
hair.
all of
I
mine,
was just going to say, does
pet-
dog hair
pet
count?
hair and human hair,
Yep.
to bind yourself to the recipient
Oh, that's
of the
fascinating.
of
Yep.
the item.
Yep.
That happens all the time.
I can tell you that all of my knitted projects have dog and cat hair in them. Every single one.
Well, and we kind of joke about the mistakes, but I mean, it is in some ways kind of true that each mistake you're kind of leaving a protection for yourself, because
Yeah.
nothing is perfect.
leaving a piece of yourself in the best way.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can use specific stitches, colors, fibers, patterns to imbue creations with a desired effect, such as protection or healing or prosperity. In the kind of witchcraft world, they do use knot magic. So the different knots can manifest different goals or can ward off
Oh, that's
evil,
neat.
and so that can make quite beautiful things, not just
Well, and
magic
also the
goods.
love knot,
Yep.
right?
Now I just want to put a little knot in every sweater.
Well, and like some of the Celtic knots that you would see in like an Aran knit sweater, or like a fisherman sweater that have all the capels and
Right.
twists and turns. Those all also have meaning.
Oh, interesting.
And actually, during the war, knitting was used in spycraft.
Right. I read this.
Yeah, so fascinating to me. What did
explain,
you read?
elaborate.
Oh, yeah.
Elaborate.
Oh, that women sitting on their porches watching troops go by would be knitting, but they would be knitting a series of knits and pearls that were Morse code, and then that knit item would be passed on to the army of I don't remember if they were German or whether they were American.
I
or
think
what
they were
side.
British. I think the British used
British.
it.
That makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
And then that item would give information about
so
how many
interesting.
troops. And it was that was a repeat story. It wasn't just like a single set of women sitting on a porch. I read that was a common thing for them to be, because nobody saw them as a threat when in fact they were.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
women knitting.
Yeah.
That's,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, and that's where our power lies, because people think we're just knitting, and what they don't know is we're casting spells.
Well, and I mean, there's that connection to folklore and ancient mythology as well, with the threads of the fate and the symbolism in spiders and spider webs. You know, even in African traditions, and and you know, the three fate, the maiden, the mother, and the crone.
I don't know this story.
Oh, they're three aspects of fate, and so one does the spinning, one does the weaving, one snips the threads of life.
And it's exactly what you're doing every time you knit. There's so many connections to
It's absolutely fascinating for me,
witchcraft.
and it's interesting because even though there are many male knitters, and traditionally many cultures have had knitting as a male pastime, hobby, activity, whatever you want to call it.
or for some
craft.
cultures work.
Yes, that it is generally seen here as a feminine
Yeah.
or a feminist practice.
Yeah.
So, you know, kind of what was the thing that you posted the other day about old lady hobbies? Who was it that
That-
posted
yesterday.
Was that you?
Yeah, last night. That
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
So, I mean, to look at it as an old lady hobby.
It is. And why is it considered an old lady hobby? What's it called? Grandma hobbies.
Yeah.
Grandma hobbies.
Because
yeah.
when you think about it, you know, women who were expecting would be knitting their own
But I wonder if
baby
it's
clothes. And
because the act of knitting kind of died out for a little while. Like it wasn't as popular.
the Industrial Revolution.
You would
changed
see
it.
Maybe.
your grandparents or your grandmother knitting,
uh-huh.
and it became less of an everyday thing for everybody. It became, oh, look, it's a grandma hobby.
Although when we go to those festivals and even the yarn stores, I see a lot more younger people
Yeah,
in there now.
It's
than,
coming back around.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
Because
there's
they're trying to get off their screens and do
Yeah.
things that aren't quick, and you know, that are a little bit more repetitive for mental health. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can be productive while you're visiting your friends.
absolutely.
You know, you can knit and visit at the same time.
Let's face it,
You can't
grandmas
watch-
know everything.
Watching TV and visiting doesn't. You can't. It's hard to visit and watch a show or something.
Yeah.
It's not as social.
No.
Yeah. And speaking of social, this Sunday we're all going to be at the Hive at Herald
Yay.
for their social knit, and we'll be collecting sweaters for hats for hobos.
That's
As
for
we are
unhoused.
affectionately calling it.
That's for the homeless.
And you can enter, for every hat that you bring us, you can enter one ballot to win one of our custom t-shirts.
With a custom coaster.
Ooh, speaking of coaster, we have a gift for Ingrid.
We do. So
Oh,
Just chuck it at her.
we were visiting my mom, who is an incredible
Oh, that's so
creative
cute.
person, and she makes coasters on her fancy sewing machine. And so we each got to pick one out. And that was the one we picked for you.
Thank you.
She doesn't just make coasters; she makes the most amazing quilts and beautiful
Nice.
And but
quilted wall
quilted art.
hangings.
Did
Did
you
you stop
Quilted
and see
art,
her?
exactly.
Did you stop and see her? Yeah.
She
was
was thrilled.
gorgeous.
Hi, Babs.
Hi, Babs.
Those are cute.
I'm allowed to call her Babs now?
Yeah, you can call her Babs.
Okay.
She'll hit you, not me.
So yeah, it's a social thing, and we're going to be meeting a couple times a month at the Langford Legion and at Hive for Herald to meet with people and hopefully collect some hats for the
Yeah.
people who need it the most when it's cold out. So
Please bring a donation. We'd love to have you support our community.
yeah. So as things get cold and dark, I mean, this is a time to put things kind of to bed. And so it's great that we can kind of take this time right close to Halloween or
Mm-hmm.
Samhain to put your curse to bed.
Put my curse to bed.
First be on.
First to bed.
What Tanya's got stuff. Tanya's got.
No, I
stuff to
don't.
say.
I was just gonna say I did see that that between the colors and patterns and materials that you choose for your thing you're making, it does. I did find that you perform this ritual with every stitch that you put into it, but in the end, if it doesn't work, it says once your ritual of stitches is performed, that the project, when it's finished, you could just burn it. It says you just
All that
burn
work,
it to
you're gonna
release
burn
the
it?
spell.
Oh my gosh, no.
I
No.
have been
It would take
very
forever.
tempted. I am not gonna lie. I have been very tempted to just light it on fire.
It'd have to be
It
like
does say that would definitely release the spell
I'd
if
have
you
to be
burn
4x4 with really large needles and cheap yarn. Then I'm willing to burn it.
like $44 scheme.
No, not a chance. Give me some cheapo acrylic
We will
and really big
pull
needles.
it out and start again. We will not.
Of course,
burn it.
Tanya's been knitting in hemp, so now we know why she's lighting shit on fire.
Yeah, that's not fun to knit.
It would be horrible to knit with.
Did you grow it?
Of course she did.
Yeah.
She spun it.
So everybody's got their needles out, actually, but me, because I'm doing color work. But what have you got on your needles?
I have got my autumn sweater by Drops Design, and I'm just almost done. I'm on my second sleeve, but
Lucky kid number 1 is getting a sweater.
Yeah.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
You're
yeah,
quick. That was quick.
It
Yeah.
looks so beautiful.
it's the first sweater I've done that has multiple colors. The only other color work I've done has
What
two
colors
colors,
are
and,
they, Ton?
and now this one has 6.
6.
That's
I went
great.
From 2 to 6.
We'll post some photos
It looks
because
really
it is
beautiful.
lovely.
So yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
almost done.
Okay.
That's what I've got on mine.
I have Kensington alpaca, which is the scrumptious, softest thing you'll ever do, and it's double knitting, which I've never done before. But it's called the Beyond Basic Sweatshirt by Wool and Beyond, and so it does a double knitting yoke across the back of the sweatshirt, and then the construction is interesting. You pick up and knit the bottom. I haven't gotten that far, but it's a heathered blue and it's deliciously soft.
It is lovely.
It is lovely.
Very,
Beautiful.
Very
beautiful.
soft.
Kensington Prairie Farms, they have some stunning alpaca.
Yep.
I still got my anchor tee. I think
Buy
I have to
petite
buy
knits.
another skein. I swear to God.
This is impressive.
I've had to buy 2 additional skeins, and I think I need a third one just to finish off like the ribbing at the bottom.
I
driving me
smell
nuts.
a trip to Vancouver.
Oh, good.
No, it's just
Let's
Spinnacle.
buy yarn.
Oh, it's just Spinnacle?
Yeah,
That's-
it's not that one.
Well, not just Spinnacle, because I can do
Spinnacle's
some damage
lovely.
there.
I know.
And actually, they have yarn that I want.
I'm hoping. Well, I thought I bought the last skein last time, so I'm hoping there's more.
Let me plug Nicole, who is amazing at ordering whatever you want. That's either amazing or super difficult.
She makes it look easy, though.
Well, no, it's difficult for me because if she can
Okay.
order whatever you want, how do you say no?
I believe you mean expensive.
Yes. Yes.
That's a different episode, Erin.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And what's on your needles, Erin?
I could not wait until I finished my nebula, so I started a smaller project, and I started my Zenity knits with my homemade what do you call it? Gradient. And I'm a couple rows into the second contrast color, and it is delicious. I will post some photos as well.
It's bottom up. You start at the bottom.
It is
or top down.
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 Nice.
Called Celestia, and the yarn is Smiling Sheep Yarn Shop. Yes.
Yes, Lisa and Becky. I can't wait.
And-
I really want to have this finished so that if I go to Edmonton in December, I can wear it.
Okay, please tell our listeners about the amazing amount of math that went into this, because I think that was some freaking magic.
That is
it was
magic.
magic. This was 2 days worth of math.
Didn't you just chat GPT? Come on.
No, I did not think of it. That is not my go-to.
Although,
I'm
based on
old.
my vest,
I'm old, so that was not my go-to. So yes, we did some amazing math at how much contrast color would be needed for each sleeve and then the body. And I had mini skeins, and we
Was
divided
there
them into
17, 15? I forget how many you had.
16
16 colors.
that we divided into sleeve 8 meters for each sleeve, and then whatever was left, I think 21 meters
It
for
was more,
the body.
27 and
For the body, yeah.
No,
we
it
ended
turned
up
out to be different math because it wasn't exactly.
they weren't exactly
weren't
45
exact,
meters.
oh
yeah.
no.
So then we magic knotted them all together and wound them. I think I've
With
posted
wine,
some photos.
there was a lot of very ritualistic wine drinking.
I don't remember as much wine as yarn, but
It was
that might be because of the
we
wine
had this
and the
beautiful
yarn.
the first one we did, it was like, okay, this is how we do it. And then Erin and I did this beautiful dance where she'd count off 8 and I'd take the end and she'd cut the next one, then I'd walk around the other side. We'd wind it on the cake and then I'd walk back around and she'd be already turning to hand me the skein. It was just was so fun.
You know what? You're right. Like that's almost a little dance. It was very ritualistic.
And the one time that I went the other way, you lost your shit and couldn't hand it to me. And you're like, because I was on the wrong side. So I had to run around the island and be at her left hand, not
Erin's
her right.
not good with change.
It was brilliant.
No. Especially from yoga class. We did not go well with change.
Yeah.
Ended up with the most delightful skeins, and we were so thrilled with ourselves.
Yeah. I'm sad that Ton wasn't there because she helped me do the math.
She
too.
did.
So, and it's not even Halloween, and the Halloween fireworks have been going
Oh, is
off
that what we
around
just
my
heard?
house the last 2 nights. They're going to run out before Halloween.
So why does Canada let off? Okay, so I grew up in Ontario. We don't do fireworks in Ontario.
Oh, we did fireworks in Ontario.
No, we didn't.
No, I never did. And then came here to BC, and everybody
But
likes
you know what?
fireworks,
My
so-
family's British, and Halloween is very close to Guy Fawkes Day.
That's
So they light off fireworks and have bonfires. So we would always have a bonfire in my Auntie Joe's backyard and light off fireworks and sing.
right. Huh.
We would have bonfires too, but the fire department was always there.
well, it was
Yeah, but I
either
heard
yours-
about the fires your dad
it was
made.
either your house or the bonfire.
The
Which one
bon-
was it?
the bonfire, the neighbors would always call the fire department.
So there we go. Happy Halloween if that's what you like doing. It's not my thing. But
Your doors will be closed and the lights off when
I will be eating the
trick-or-treaters-
candy that I bought in my room, watching TV, knitting.
Knitting your spells.
Yes.
casting spells.
Casting spells and maybe watching a scary movie because I like that too. So, thank you for joining us this week. A special thanks to Techno Whiz Matt. He never listens to this. Thank you, but thank you anyways, Maddie. And our sponsor, Chrysalis Counseling and Ingrid Stennerson, registered massage therapist, for the support. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook to see photographic evidence of our enthusiasm for yarn, our ritual that we did today, and connect with us in a larger community of knitting friends. Hope we see you at the Hive at Herald and the Langford Legion. Check out our Instagram for when and where we'll be there gathering hats, and bring us a hat for hobo or knits for the needy.
That's
Ooh,
right.
Nice one.
Yes,
And
that's all, Jay. That's all.
Totes for our toques for our tote.
Yes, we want to fill that tote with toques. So,
You know it. Come on by. We'll see you there. Happy
see you.
Halloween.
Bye, guys.
Happy knitting.